Hi, right. I'm looking at making some sweet potato fries for my children. One of the main reasons for this is because, unlike white potatoes, sweet potatoes are actually classed as one of your five a day. Now, I have made these before, and whenever I used to go out, on dinner dates and stuff, it seems to be one of those things that I got hooked on. So instead of like saying, oh yeah, I'll just have chips, um, I tried to go to places that actually did what sweet potato fries, which are really, really nice. And the way I'm looking at doing them today is I've left the skin on, because the thing with potatoes is a lot of the nutrition is actually in the skin. I would recommend, because obviously they do grow in the ground, that you give them a bit of a wash under the tap first. Scrub them, make sure they're clean. If they're green, throw them away. That is Staphylococcus, I believe that's the bacteria. So any green potatoes you have in your kitchen, it's not like eating fried green tomatoes, which you can do if they're not necessarily ripe. You can have green tomatoes. If potatoes are green, do not eat them, they are poisonous. Now, the good thing obviously about potatoes, whether you use sweet potato or any potato, is each variety is good for one thing compared to the other. So, you have your Maris Pipers, and a lot of people will say, oh, Maris Pipers are brilliant. They're great for mash, they're great for making homemade chips. And then there's other potatoes which, are better for your jackets. So potatoes are a very sustainable food source to have, especially at the moment now that we are in socialised lockdown. But then please bear in mind, last year, I believe, because it was raining a lot, we did actually lose a lot of our crops. So when I did try and get sweet potato fries from certain places, they actually said we don't have them, we can't have them on the menu. And it was because it had rained so much last year that potatoes didn't grow. And again, bear in mind when they had the potato famine in Ireland. So although potatoes are a very good source of food, and like I said, sweet potatoes are one of your five a day, so make sure if possible you can get your five a day. You can't grow sweet potatoes, I've been told, in your garden from a potato. You have to use slips. So I don't really know a lot about that, so it's worth Googling. Whereas with your potatoes, if you have some that started to sprout and you think, oh, maybe I shouldn't be eating these, maybe look at seeing if you can put them in a bit of soil, use a tub, even use an old like milk jug, anything really that you can think of, and see if you can grow them on so that you have a bit of a bumper crop that will last you throughout the year. I am lucky the most. I have a garden, even though it's a rented house, and last year we did grow potatoes. We grew carrots, and we grew parsnips and beetroot, and all of them actually did very, very well. Although I couldn't get the children to eat them, I myself, really enjoyed having them, and I was able to give some to my friends and family. But at the moment, due to this social isolation lockdown that we're in, it's a shame, because, people that have got allotments and things, if they have got crops that they may usually share or swap around with each other, is this something that we're actually going to be able to do? If the answer is yes, then I think it's fantastic, because it's going to reduce the amount of people going to the supermarket if you can get fresh fruit and vegetables from a local allotment later on in the year. So I do have a Facebook page, it's called Swap and Grow, so it might be worth having a look on there, along with my traditional British food Facebook page as well. So fingers crossed, hopefully, once everybody gets over the bad weather that we're going to be having, it is going to be in the minuses in the UK over the next couple of days, then hopefully we can all get out there, start doing a bit of planting. And if you have an allotment, think about the sort of things you might consider planting this year if you haven't already. And get in contact with your local council, see whether there are any allotments going. There always seems to be a few popping up every now and again. And, it, even if you had something like a community allotment, which unfortunately I know isn't something you can realistically do at the moment, but it could be something you could look at doing in the future. So I've been boiling these now for about 5 minutes. I don't want to boil them all the way through, because again I want to try and keep as much of the nutrition in there as possible. I just wanted to soften them up a little so it didn't take as long to cook them in the oven as sweet potato fries. So I've kind of boiled them, I believe that's the word. And again, when I make homemade crisps, which is something I'll show you in another video, again I parboil the potatoes before putting them in the oven. Thank you.